What's up everyone, this is Robin Hoods right here and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing one of the OGs, the pioneers that makes the shonen anime great today. One of the foundations, the OG Dragon Ball. Based on a manga created by Akira Toriyama and expanding up to 153 episodes, Dragon Ball is simply one of the most iconic and most recognized animes from the past and even today. Dragon Ball is responsible for the biggest explosions of the anime scene back in the 90s, and hey, as much as people love Dragon Ball Z, including myself, one of my favorite animes of all time, it wouldn't be without the granddaddy, which is Dragon Ball. The story starts off with a young boy named Goku, who everybody should recognize by now. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, who doesn't know Goku is? Hell, even my parents and grandparents know who Goku is. But the story starts off with a young boy named Goku, who's living by the mountains and about to start his new adventure. His grandfather Gohan just passed away, and the interaction between Bulma and Goku is one of the most recognized foundation of the Dragon Ball lore that will expand throughout, even to Super series to this day. There's very little we know about Goku starting off. We just know him as a very smiley, very positive attitude, a go-getter, very practical, until Bulma came along and we start to ask those questions. I mean, why does this boy even have a damn tail? So, for a human, maybe not so much. So, which leads to our secondary character for this whole adventure, which is Bulma, a young girl who seeks out to find his true love using these Dragon Balls. When it's collected, you can grant one wish at anything you could ask for. You guessed it, she wants that one. The confrontation between Bulma and Goku is what starts off this journey to find these Dragon Balls. Goku has a strong connection with the 4-star Dragon Ball, which was passed to him from his, passed away grandpa Gohan, and he wants to seek out more to find the Dragon Balls and also to help Bulma, collect these mystical items. Early on in their adventures, they will come across many memorable characters that we know today, such as Yamcha, a bandit with Puar, who's got some serious martial arts background with that Wu Fang fist. Lovable Master Roshi. Master Roshi, man, who doesn't love Master Roshi? I mean, he's the one, that we all know he's Goku's main mentor, that also taught him and his best buddy Krillin. Krillin, we know, a fighter from the east, who's always a step or so behind Goku throughout the whole process, but yet so mature and so more conscious and more understanding of what's happening, but yet he's always a step or two, maybe 10 or 100 steps behind by the end. So we see these characters develop under Master Roshi's guidance and being him the main mentor for these boys. As Goku and Krillin trains up for the famous World Martial Arts Tournament, they would not only know more about their abilities and unlocking their potential, but also having some really good life lessons throughout. Now, the whole vibe of Dragon Ball is completely different to Dragon Ball Z or Super, or quite frankly most of the shonen animes that we know today. It's lighthearted, it's something very easy to watch, it's something you can't really take too seriously, and just there for a good entertainment value. I would say the animations is a bit dated today, and the humor may not as land, comparing to back in the day then, and some of the plots and the direction where the story is heading you can definitely predict, but it's that sheer great value of funny caring, light-hearted feelings that you will experience throughout this journey with Goku that really makes it a worthwhile time to invest on. That being said, the animation, though being a bit dated, it does suit the feel and the artistic qualities and the aesthetics of the whole experience of the anime. I mean, you have talking dogs, talking dinosaurs, talking tigers, lions, and you know, some weird stuff. Right? I remember Tien, one of the most iconic characters out there, 3 eyes. Something just pops out of there, it just seems so normal. So it's something that you come across in Dragon Ball that's a bit coming out of nowhere, but it's sort of giving you that engagement and keeps you engaged the whole time, you know? So you never know what's coming, especially if you don't know too much, or you haven't played any of the games, or you don't know too much of the history of Dragon Ball. It will surprise you time and time again, even in the filler episode. On top of Goku's amazing adventure throughout this whole process, you know, finding the Dragon Balls, and you know, meeting new friends, meeting new companion, having great experience and adventures throughout, you know, the world that he's exposed to now, is the iconic World Martial Arts Tournament, which I mentioned previously. Now this tournament, I believe you see about 3 of them in the series. All 3 of them have so much different dynamic, variety from the action themselves, how it develops from the first one to the last one. It's just getting topped up each and every time, levels up every time. The World Martial Arts Tournament has become the key staple to the Dragon Ball franchise. I mean, it ran through Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, and it is because of the success and, you know, the impact of what these tournaments had in the main Dragon Ball series. There you see the development of Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, and even Tien later on. Not only just for their powers, but you know, the way they are, their personalities, their demeanors, and their bond for each other as a team to improve as well, the support that they have for each other. That's when you see the great characters like Oolong and Puar, and you know, Roshi, Bulma, and Launch. That's when you see the dynamic between the team, and you don't, in the end, you start not just pulling for Goku, you start to really enjoy the company of these other characters, and that's what made Dragon Ball so lovable and so easy to watch and so engaging, even though, you know, it's something that doesn't surprise you in the big aspect story. The interesting thing about this series is, with its funny, light-hearted tone, it has so many adult and censorship that there's reasons why it hasn't even been viewed in, you know, in normal television slots back in the day. I mean, where do I even start? I mean, you know, there's so many sections with Goku slapping Bulma's thing. I mean, he's touching everything there, you know, here, there, all that stuff, and just the violence as well. You think at first watch the first 2 minutes, it's all like, oh yeah, it's cute, you know, you got these kids fighting, and the next thing you know, just blood and, you know, arms getting ripped off and everything. So you really see the dynamic tone of the anime that it can tackle the younger audience, and it can also please the older audience. One of the most fascinating stories in this Dragon Ball series is the relationship between Master Roshi and Goku and Krillin. It really illustrates the great bond between teacher and student, and it depicts how it shows really how training and working hard, not just both physically and mentally, can, you know, achieve so many goals that you set for yourself. So this series just elaborates so much on just motivating you and just not just enjoying the journey, but also, you know, to have goals and just to keep pushing yourself to the limit. I must admit, there are some points where I feel like, you know, just doing something in the background, or a dialogue that's just been a bit too long or dragged out a bit too much. but it's part of the charm, and it's part of the sort of humanity sense, rather than just keep going, pushing the series, just go, 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 go. It makes you stop and reflect, and makes you care for these characters a bit more, so it sinks in and, you know, hits you in the heart at times too. So for my personal experience with it, it's a bit dated, it's a bit childish, and you know, it can be too simple at times. But it's really the development and the growth of Goku, the journey that he has to go through to get to where he is at the start of Dragon Ball Z and beyond. This lays down the foundation of a great anime which would turn into such a big franchise in the anime scene. Despite its little drawback and little issues here and there, I still believe it stands the test of time. It's continued to be one of the iconic animes out there, and it's funny, entertaining the whole way through, and it keeps you engaged with some great actions that you want to see develop and gets bigger and bigger and better each and every time. My personal tip is, when you get through the series, is just don't take it too seriously and just go along with the flow in the journey. I know that rhyme got some bars in here, spitting fine as always, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so just go with it, let it go where it takes you. That can keep you engaged and surprised at times, because that's when the humor, honestly the humor in this series does not even compare to most Shonen Jump animes that comes out now. So that for in itself is worth the watch. It keeps you, definitely put a smile on your face. Each and every episode there's always something there, and to me it's one of the funniest in general animes of all time. I guess one of the most intriguing part of this anime is Goku's innocence and his perspective on the way he looks at the world he hasn't been exposed to. You see this child not only have so much to learn within himself, about himself, but also through, you know, how the normal world really is. Because this guy, he's been trapped on the mountains throughout his whole life, you know. So to him, just to see him in the first episode, see him how to deal with cars, he's trying to talk to a car and all that stuff. You're looking at it like, oh, geez, this guy's stupid or something. Like, this kid, I'm not that stupid when I was a kid. But that's what gives it that charm, and that's what gives it that layer about Goku, that you want him to succeed, you want him to know, you want to give him all that knowledge. You're curious to see how he really develops. For those who started at Dragon Ball Z, watching this anime really solidifies and builds that foundation on the supporting cast. I reckon that's what really, for me anyways, that's what really gave me that motivation, is to, you know, to see the foundation, the history in all these supporting characters that he has for Dragon Ball Z. So having that in your arsenal as you go through Dragon Ball Z again in the future, or if you haven't gone to Dragon Ball Z, I don't know where you've been, but if you haven't gone across Dragon Ball Z, it's definitely worth the watch. Something I'll be looking to review in the future and share my take in it. But it really gives you that good support and good understanding of where these characters have come from. So it's not just your typical side characters, you know, when you watch Dragon Ball Z. It has a bit more meaning and more depth and more care to these characters moving forward. For my rating, I'm gonna give it an A for amazing. It's not as high as I really want to put it because of its, you know, comparison to what it is now. But at that time, I'm sure I would have given it a higher score. Its charm, its lightheartedness, your connection between Goku, and just the history even behind it is what really gives you the great motivation to get through it. Though it shows its age, dated animation at times, story gets a bit too simple, and the humor might not land at times, but the fun, the care, and the entertaining ways that Goku takes you through this adventure is what really hits home. And I fully recommend it to everyone that hasn't been through all this, and even if you can rewatch it now, it still stands the test of time. Either way, however you want to feel about it, whether it's a bit too dated for you, or you don't really feel like going way back, or someone that is engaged to just take on that history in the Dragon Ball lore, it's definitely a good way to to what this series has brought to the shonen action anime genre. And without Dragon Ball to place us with this history, there won't be a Dragon Ball Z that will lead us to the greatness that it is. Thank you for your time. Make sure to drop a like, leave a comment to see if when you've seen the series, how do you feel about it then and how do you feel about it now. Let me know. Would appreciate it to subscribe as well and join the journey here with me. And as I go through so many, I got more contents to come. Stay tuned. Also follow my Instagram account at RobinHoods101. And until next time, this is Robin Hoods over and out.